Another one lander that we can't keep with our teachings control deck and Pauper. I guess that's better, although not great. Fume Spitter. So our opponent is playing something out of the ordinary. I think we'll just go with basic islands. We can get our Aqueduct down next turn. I think this is some graveyard-based deck. I remember seeing a list, but I don't think I've actually played against it. I guess it could also just be a mono black deck with Fume Spitter. Yeah, I think we're still just going to Aqueduct rather than think twice. Set up for the future. Next turn we can play the Dismal Backwater. And think twice. Chittering Rats, yep. So that means we gotta put, doesn't matter, put the island on top. There's the Dismal Backwater, up to 19. So we're taking 3 here. Another Chittering Rats. So that's annoying, but we get to Echoing Decay 2 Chittering Rats. Put the island on top again, play the island, and ship the turn back. Maybe a Gray Merchant. That's what 5 mana often means. The good thing is next turn we can potentially probe another Chittering Rats. Alright. So we'll put Swamp on top. And we will think twice to draw it back. Ooh, Seagate Oracle. Alright, this time we're just going to probe with Kicker. We get to filter a bit, set up for the Angler, put him to 1 card. So we'll pitch Think Twice, and maybe just pitch Gurmag Angler. I think we'll do that, and then that way we can double Seagate Oracle next turn into double Think Twice. There's old Gary. So we're down to 7. Good news is we got some defense coming out, so we should only be taking 1 damage. Seagate Oracle finds us Counterspell. Yeah. Second Seagate Oracle gets us a... Ooh. I think we'll take Agony Warp here. Pass the turn. Now it's just about living. As long as we, if he doesn't draw another Gray Merchant, which would be very unfortunate. Chittering Rats is acceptable. We're just gonna, just block like that. If he wants to sack a Fume Spitter and kill one, that's also fine. Yep. So we lose 1 Oracle. Now we get to play Dismal Backwater and pass the turn. Breathe the Bones. Yeah, we're not going to let that happen. Here comes the attack. So we can kill one of these. So let's see. We give one -3, -0. Give one -0, -3, and then block the Gray Merchant. Can't flashback or think twice, unfortunately. Now I wish we had killed the Gray Merchant. But we gotta shift the turn. We can start flashing back our think twices. Hopefully our opponent just draws a land or something. That would be nice. Hopefully they don't draw a Gray Merchant. Chainer's Edict. Alright, so I think we'll think twice in response, just in case. Another land. Alright. Well, that does put us to a 2-turn clock. And think twice again. Ooh, Angler's sweet. That helps. Angler and think twice. Alright, so Angler exiling everything. Almost everything. And pass. No attacks, so we get to think twice. Essence Scatter's not bad either. Think twice. Talesman, sweet. And Diabolic Edict, alright. How much can we do this turn? Well, we could clear his board. Problem is, if we don't and he draws the removal spell, we're in trouble. We get Evancar Justice down to 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Diabolic Edict and Essence Scatter. I think we're going to go with that. So Evancar's Justice gets rid of Chittering Rats. Diabolic Edict kills the Gray Merchant. Get to start swinging with our Angler. And hopefully he doesn't draw a Corrupt. Chainer's Edict, that's actually alright. Losing that isn't the end of the world. Ooh, so 3, yeah, we can Pristine Talesman into Seagate Oracle. Haha, and a counterspell. So now we're not even so worried about Corrupt. We're actually in fine shape. Gaining a life per turn, doing our thing. Our opponent ships back. Ooh, double counterspell. Well, we are kind of getting a lock on this game a little bit, although it's far from over. Only 16 more swings with Seagate Oracle, and yep, we're not going to bother countering that. I don't think 1 damage a turn from Seagate Oracle is how we win this match anyway. Oh, well, slight punt. Should have gained a life there. Always gain the life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Well, now we might end up wasting some counter spells on protecting our Angler. So if we can keep that alive, that should win us the game. Like if he Chainer's Edict, well, yep. We could have countered it, but then he would still have 2 Chainer's Edicts in the graveyard. That'll meet an Essence Scatter. No sense in letting... I mean, we would have discarded the Essence Scatter if we didn't cast it. So we'll pass the turn here. Can Mystical Teachings for something. Gray Merchant. Essence Scatter again. Alright, so Mystical Teachings. What do we have left? One Seagate Oracle. Really? That's it? Oh. That might be a problem. Guess we take Capsize. We only have one Seagate Oracle to actually kill our opponent, and our opponent's at 14. So maybe if we just capsize him down to nothing, he'll scoop. We're still a little bit of mana short from casting it twice in a turn, but Aqueduct helps. So it puts us at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 next turn. So we're one land away from counter or capsizing twice each turn. Fume Spitter. I think we'll just exclude that. Valving Wilds. We'll play Valving Wilds, and then next turn we'll be set up for the double capsize unless we need to counter something. Phyrexian Rager. Actually, that might let us. Does that let us double this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that should do it. So we can rewind, untap 4 lands. And this should let us double capsize the turn early. And we can do the other one on his end step. Sack of Valving Wilds. Get an island. Capsize with buyback. Wonder if our opponent knows enough to not scoop to the double capsize. Pass the turn. Double capsize. Capsizing twice in a turn is unfair. I mean, capsize is pretty unfair in general, but once you get to this point. Trouble is, if we don't draw our Seagate Oracle in the next 9 cards, we won't actually be able to kill our opponent before we run out of cards in our library. So we will potentially lose a game with our opponent having 0 permanents in play. Keep doing what we're doing. Capsize with buyback. Capsize with buyback. Our opponent's going to have to discard 2 cards. Come on, Seagate Oracle. Dismal Backwater. Well, that's not bad either. I mean, it's not good. We need to draw the Seagate Oracle, but Capsize with buyback again. So do we draw our Seagate Oracle? Now we can double capsize and leave up a counter spell. Teachings doesn't help us. I'm going to have to look. I wonder if there's a creature with flash we could play in this deck that we could search out with mystical teachings for just these situations. I mean, I'm sure there is, or I know there's common blue flash creatures, but I wonder which creature that would be. So, you've heard of the flawless victory, where you win with your opponents having no permanents in play? We might be on our way to a flawless defeat. Well, our opponent is tapping mana this time, for no apparent reason. He's going to Diabolic Edict me? Oh, he's going to cycle a Baron more, okay. Come on, Seagate Oracle. We have about 5 draw steps. I guess we can speed up the process with Think Twice. I mean, either we draw the Seagate Oracle or we don't. That's all there is to it. That's actually good for us. That that gives us a couple more turns to draw the Seagate Oracle. And our opponent really just can't do anything. So I think we will Think Twice. Diabolic Edict. Island. Think Twice. Agony Warp. Well, our opponent isn't going to be able to do anything the rest of the game, but unless we draw our Seagate Oracle shortly, we're going to lose anyway. Basically, we need, since that's our only creature that can deal damage, we need to draw it while we still have more cards in the deck than his life total. And then we can just ride that to victory 1 damage at a time. Which means we have approximately 3 turns. I thought we had another Gurmag Angler, but 1, 2... Jeez, everything's crazy over there. Yep, we used all 3. Our opponent is still going to play lands. And we are still going to capsize them. Come on, Seagate Oracle. Exclude. No, we're not going to cast our teachings. So we have like 2 turns left. I think maybe we gotta leave the lands in play for a minute. Yes! Yes, we got there! Oh, thank goodness, little Seagate Oracle. Let's tap properly. I think this might have been the last possible turn. Right? I'm counting this right? Seagate Oracle. Doesn't matter, we'll take land. So we have 13 cards in our deck. He has 12 life. So I think that means we will kill him with exactly 0 cards in our library. I was thinking that we should let him play lands, because maybe he would keep casting Sign in Blood, which kind of bought us more time. But now that's changed. Now we're back to the original plan of capsizing. We need to make sure the Seagate Oracle lives too, obviously. Which means counterspelling this Victim of the Night. Alright, now winning should be elementary. Oh, and we even get the Bajuka Bog to exile our opponent's graveyard. I don't think there's any one mana removal spells in this format, not that can kill our Seagate Oracle. That was actually stupid, because we could have just capsized it. Yeah, so we just have to do this for 10 more turns, and we win at the last possible second. Sorry, I got quiet there for a minute. I was zoned in. Our clock is actually sort of running low. This is actually a kind of time-consuming process to just keep capsizing and attacking for 1. It's unfortunate that we don't have our a Gurmag Angler. That would have sped up this process. Maybe this whole process is probably my fault for not holding an Angler longer. Although, when we played the Angler, we basically had to play something or we just died. Raven's Crime, alright. I guess we'll discard Essence Scatter. Now I don't even think we play our lands. We'll just save them to discard to his Raven's Crimes. Funny game. Raven's Crime. We'll pitch the Evolving Wilds. Capsize his land. If we had time, we could be capsizing one of our lands, but we're just trying to get there as quick as possible. After sideboarding, we can bring in our curses, which speed up the clock a little bit. Raven's Crime, pitch Diabolic Edict. Capsizes land with buyback. You can also capsize your own Seagate Oracles, although we obviously don't want to do that now because we're going to win with exactly... That was the last possible turn we could have drew our Seagate Oracle. He just keeps Raven's Criming. We have to capsize though, because if we don't capsize, he could potentially get up enough lands to cast an actual removal spell, and that could be problematic. Getting there, 16. Well, actually, he signed in blood himself, but I think the only damage he took this game was his own sign in bloods and our Seagate Oracle. I don't even think we need to gain life anymore. 33 should be plenty. Oh, got him down to 3. I mean, he can't get out of this, but he's ahead on clock, so there's no real reason for him to scoop. Has to be pretty frustrating. It's kind of funny that I capsize his lands every turn, which means he always has a turn to cast his has a land to retrace his Raven's Crime. Sort of a weird anti-synergy. But we'll just keep capsizing. As you can see, this is the exact reason they bumped Capsize to Uncommon in Tempest Remastered. I guess I'm kind of like I don't even know. I love cards like this. To me, that's fun magic, is repeatedly capsizing your opponent or countering every spell they play with Forbid. Other people apparently don't feel the same. Can't blame them. But they were trying to keep these situations from happening in Tempest Remastered. So I guess maybe we did have one more turn, I guess. But we were going to win this game with a single card in our library. And no permanents on our opponent's battlefield. Sweet. And this is a flawless victory. And yes, 17 minutes and a million attacks with our 1-3 later. We are successful. Talk about grindy. And that's only game one. Which kind of puts us in a weird position. I wasn't even playing slow in that game. I was playing about as fast, I think, as I could play. But it's just capsizing with buyback multiple times a turn. Time consuming. No real way to do that quickly. So sideboarding. The big deal is Curse of the Bloody Tome. It's a long and grinding matchup. Also, Evankar's Justice. Other than Grey Merchant, that's almost a Plague Wind against him. It doesn't hurt us, hurts him. I don't know if we want both. I guess we could. And then one thing I like to do, actually, is cut Grimag Anglers, cut Seagate Oracle, and, well, cut a Seagate Oracle, I guess. And we just try to put down a Curse of Bloody Tome and mill our opponent to death. This ends up blanking our opponent's removal. I'd take out more Seagate Oracles, but they do cycle through our deck. So I don't really want to cut them for that reason. Whew! Capsize. That is a real card. Not horrible. Evankar's Justice makes this hand way better. We'll lead on Evolving Wild Skin Island. Don't mind thinning our deck a bit here. Sign in Blood. Actually, maybe that might be wrong. We might want to actually just leave Evolving Wilds up, because that lets us counteract sort of a Chittering Rats. At the same time, we could have just counterspelled something. So I think we're going to sack that for an island. Play Swamp. Alright. So we got our counterspell Wall up. Dealing with just a Phyrexian Rager, which will probably kill at end of turn if we don't have to counter something, just to keep the board clean. Another Rager. Alright, we're going to let that go then. And then just Echoing Decay both of them. He gets to draw the card, but that's alright. We do have our empty board. Now I think we can start playing Aqueducts, bouncing the Swamp. We don't get to leave up Exclude, but we still have Counterspell. And we don't really care about creatures that die to Evankar's Justice. Choking Sands, yeah. I think that deserves a Counterspell. Another Sign in Blood. Yeah, we'll just play an island here. Wouldn't mind being able to Mystical Teachings. If we don't have to cast Exclude. Well, now we're going to cast Exclude. There's an Oracle. Probably would have been fine to let that resolve and draw a card, but kind of wanted to cycle the Exclude anyway. Man, all the Sign in Bloods. So I think we just play an island and ship the turn here. That way we can Mystical Teachings for a counterspell if we need to. Would be nice to draw a Curse. Remember, that's basically our only realistic way of winning the game in timely fashion. Otherwise, we're back to the Seagate Oracle plan. Chittering Rats. Yep. So we'll let that resolve. Put the swamp on top. And then we can actually just... that might have been wrong. Mystical Teachings. Getting a counter spell, I guess. Essence Scatter, also not bad. So here we'll play Aqueduct. Pick up an island. And then we want to tap this, and we can play Pristine Talisman. That way we still have Essence Scatter up and the counter spell. And we're setting up for Evankar's Justice. Which I guess is another potential way to win the game if we just keep flashing that back. Or buying that back, rather. So we'll take 2 here from Chittering Rats. Gray Merchant, certainly getting countered. Opponent passes a turn. Dismal Backwater. So we'll play Seagate Oracle here. See what we can find on top of our deck. It's going to kill it in response, yep. Diabolic Edict is fine. We'll just play Island. Pass the turn. I think we can afford to take another hit from Chittering Rats. I wouldn't mind flashing back our Mystical Teachings if we had the chance. Phyrexian Ranger can resolve because we're planning on wiping the board anyway. Alright, so we can flash back our Teachings. I think we'll just get another counter spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we will cast Evankar's Justice with buyback. Wipes his board, deals us both a little bit of damage. Play the Evolving Wilds, I guess. So we still have Counterspell up. All we really care about are creatures that can either something that deals us a lot of damage or creatures like Gray Merchant that get around Evankar's Justice. Sack Evolving Wilds, get a swamp, I guess. Oh, there's a curse. Alright, so we're going to go on the curse plant now. Enchant our opponent. Dismal Backwater. Pass the turn again. So Mono Black can't kill the curse. So basically we just wait it out. Stay alive, and we will mill him to death in about 10 turns. Actually, 11 turns, I think. Grimag Angler, maybe? Angler's fine, because we can just Diabolic Edict it. Yep. Diabolic Edict away the Angler. Seagate Oracle. Run that out there, see if we can find some more action. Another Mystical Teachings would be sweet, because that gets us another 2 counter spells. I guess just Evankar's Justice. I think we're going to just cast one of these. It puts him down to 7. I think we're getting there. Chainer's Edict gets rid of our Seagate Oracle. So basically we got 1 Oracle left, but it doesn't even matter. We're winning with Evankar's Justice. and with our curse if we need to. That's a long way, but that was a good draw. Alright. So we're going to cast this with buyback, leave up double counter spell. But I think Evankar's Justice is going to get our opponent before the curse does. Well, guess we counter that. If he'd make us discard our Evankar's Justice, that would be bad. Well, shield's down. There goes our last counter spell. We'll Evankar's Justice with buyback. Puts our opponent to 3, so we can kill our opponent next turn, assuming we don't have to discard our Evankar's Justice. Gray Merchant actually buys our opponent a little time. We'll think twice. Oh, we should have thought twice before, I guess. Cast that with buyback. So if our opponent can't gain life, we kill them again next turn. Corrupt could potentially ruin our plans. Sign in Blood to 1. Choking Sands our Aqueduct. Ship the turn, and cast Evankar's Justice one more time for the win, I think. And that does it. Woo! That was the grindiest of grinds, but sometimes that's how it goes with this deck. Anyway, we got there. One Seagate Oracle beat at a time, and one Evankar's Justice flashback at a time in game 2. Anyway, yeah, Teachings, Control, and Pauper. This deck is so much fun. I love this kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's it for now.